Hey everybody, I'm Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise, and welcome to another video shot primarily at the GAMA trade show. But this one is going to be a little bit different because I'm recording this little video intro here along with my occasional co-hostess V-Bug.
Why am I here?
I'm going to tell you exactly why you're here. You're here because we're going to talk briefly about the game that's featured primarily in the video today, Container Jumbo Mega Advantage, what's it called here? The Jumbo 10th Anniversary Edition of Container.
I have never played that. Why am I?
You have never played this game because it has been out of print for a long time. I first played this game probably about 3 years ago, and I really enjoyed it. And I went out to buy my own copy of it, and
Well, too bad it's mine.
so I had to wait a long time until it became back into print in order to get my copy of it. So when I found out that the game was not only going to be reprinted, but reprinted as a Jumbo Super Deluxe version of it, I went out and pre-ordered it right away. And guess what? My pre-order has finally arrived.
And it's mine.
Are you curious as to what is in that box, oh child?
Yes.
I'm glad you said that because I just happened to interview Mercury Games at the GAMA trade show, and now here's what they had to say about it.
In order to settle on the sizing of the containers, we started with the idea that the original ones were a little bit small. This game is about manipulating containers sometimes at a distance, and so you have to work. It's not a dexterity game, but you are working with them. You're moving the ships, you're moving the containers, you're loading them. So we went with a size that we felt was the most easy to manipulate, easy to pick up, easy to load. They're not going to fall off, and set that. We wanted to have it nice and big, but without being silly big. And so there's no exact science to it, except for we realized when it's too big, it doesn't add anything. And when it's this size, at the very least, it's not going to fall off the boat. It's not going to be hard to pick up. It's going to be easy to work with and still look nice. And so we think it's a sweet spot between not too big and not too little, just right. It all starts from the containers, and it works up from there. So the containers dictate the size of the ship. The ship dictates the size of the harbor. The harbor dictates the size of the warehouses and the loading space. It all even up to the box. Even the box is a conscious decision. For example, if we made the box rectangular, with it being so heavy, I mean, I don't know if you want to hold this, but it's like around 9.5, 10 pounds. It's heavy.
Oh my word.
Right? Starting from those containers, making those containers bigger, had ripple effects to the entire design.
Wow.
After that, there's just personal choices. For example, the original game didn't have a lot of space to hold the bid containers. So now we've left a little more buffer zone. So if you jostle it, it doesn't suddenly reprice all your containers. And the same with the factories; they fit in their space a little bit better. Just like kind of personal preference. Again, when a game is 10 years old, you've got 10 years of public, real-world testing to benefit from. And so why not put that to good use? And of course, there's new content here too. So we've got the investment bank as well. This investment bank essentially works as like a central bank would in an economy. So it applies the gas and the brakes to that economy, and by controlling the liquidity in the game. Now, this module can be used with or without the game. If you want to play the original way is kind of like running on a roller coaster that's kind of jittery and could fall off at any time. This adds a little more safety, but also a whole new layer of strategy. This investment bank is always offering containers for money and money for containers. And you as the player for one action can put out a bid against any, you see here currently we're bidding for 2 containers in that box there, and then this card comes back to your side. So it'd be a cash bid, so we'll turn that over. So it's a cash bid for these containers. I may bid $4. Now, on your turn for one action, you can say, you know what, $4 is just too cheap, I'm going to go $6. Okay? So you've used an action, but you now take that card for yourself. You mark the $6, it's outbid. If your turn starts again on a later turn, and that card is in front of you, your bid is successful. Okay? Your money gets broke. First of all, the containers go to your dock, let's say you're green, ready for pickup. Okay? The money goes dollar by dollar into each of the holding boxes until it's all used up. Now, at some point, someone's going to say, well, heck, there's $8 in that box. $8 is probably worth a bid of 2 containers. So they being essentially a clearinghouse, say, yes, we'll accept your bid. So you would then turn this card over, and you mark where those containers came from, the factories or the warehouses. So that later, if you're outbid, you know where they came from. Your compensation is you get to reprice those containers as they go back to their locations. But maybe I bid 2 containers, you bid 3, and then someone says, well, that's as high as I'm willing to go. Again, you got your containers. You bid your containers, they go onto the bidding side. You bid one by one until they're gone, and then you take the money side that you bid on. So This becomes an indicator of the health of the economy. This can be a very liquid supply, lots of money, lots of containers, or it can be very illiquid, very few containers, very few dollars, just like the players. So while it is a safety net to the economy, it's not the be-all, end-all. The game can still go off the rails and crash, just like everyone loves. Right? You can still bankrupt the whole economy, but this is like the canary in the coal mine. And that module goes in and out of the game at players' discretion. You can play with it, you can play without it. It changes the economy, of course, but it works either way. And so that actually does replace 2 of the 4 modules from the original expansion completely. Like it's redundant.
Yeah.
And then one we chose not to put in. It wasn't strong enough to put in from the expansion. And then one will be potentially coming in an expansion. In that case, the luxury containers.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be coming later.
Nice.
We're trying to do something really cool with it, so I can't give you any secrets, but it's hopefully going to be really cool. It's taken a long time, longer than this would be the very first Kickstarter project we haven't been at least early for. But the net result is more important than those bragging rights, right? And the net result is the person who backed or pre-ordered this is going to be very happy with what they get.
Exactly.
And that's more important to me than being quick.
Yeah.
I'd rather tell people what's going on. They can make a good decision, and then they get a good product and they're happy. That makes me happy. I mean, being on time is a bonus, and that's great. But if you're going to force me to pick, I'm going to have to pick quality over speed any day, which is really the strength of containers. So in designing that, you wanted to honor that kind of that simplicity and the flexibility of strategy.
Hey there everybody, and welcome back to another video that was primarily shot at the GAMA trade show, but I'm going to add a little intro to this because I want to talk briefly about the game that you were going to see talked about inside the video. Exciting stuff, isn't it? Oh, yawn face.